Hi, lovely people, and welcome to Little Moments, Big Shifts, the podcast that empowers you to prioritise yourself and evolve into the person you were always meant to be. I'm your host, Emma Longbottom, founder of Wellbeing with Emma. And welcome to episode 1 of my podcast. Woo! I'm excited. I have been thinking about doing this for months. I even actually recorded an episode in like March or April or something, and I lost faith with it, and I decided just to work on something else instead. But I am doing it. This is absolutely getting put online. And my intention is of working on this podcast is that they are short and sweet. So I'm not gonna take up loads of your time. But what I wanted to give you is those little moments. So that's why it's called Little Moments, Big Shifts. So I can talk to you for a little moment about something that I've been working through, something that I've been working with a client. And I can help you sort of find a way to move through things, hopefully, and find those big shifts over time. So what do I work on? So if you don't know me, hi, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm an empowerment coach and a rest mentor. And I bring together coaching, energy healing, and the philosophies of yoga, and bring it to help people feel empowered and to prioritise themselves. And that's what I will be working with, and this is what I'll be talking to you about. So enough waffling on. What did I want to talk to you about today? So I wanted to talk today about being intentional. And you might be thinking, what's she on about? So there's a lot said, and you might, if you're on like things like Instagram and TikTok, etc., you might see a lot of people talking about setting intentions or setting affirmations, or in yoga we call them sankalpas. And these are things that we want to create in our life. So an intention is something that we want to create in our life. We normally form it in the positive present tense, so that it's as if we're saying it, as if it's true, even though it isn't yet. So it's something that we want to create. And they can be really powerful. And, it can really help you sort of give you a little bit of a navigation route through whatever it is that you're working on. But it's not just enough to set the intention, maybe repeat it once in one yoga class or write it on a post-it note. You need to actually think about how you live intentionally and how you make those intentions part of your life. And I was talking to a group of clients the other day about this, and they were giving me some really great examples about what they'd been doing. So they'd been like repeating them to themselves first thing in the morning and last thing at night, because your subconscious is more malleable when you've just woken up or you're just falling off to sleep. So that's a really great thing to do. But there's more. So I'll give you some examples of something that I've been working on. So the last probably 3 years now, it's been quite a while, I've been working with an intention of I am healthy and energized, because that was what I was wanting to call in. So I don't want to be anymore. I don't want to be skinny. I don't want to be, I don't want to look a certain way necessarily. What I want to feel is healthy in my body. I want to feel like I've got loads of energy to do all the things that I want to do. So that's where it came from. I am healthy and energized. And how I've been using that intention is in a few ways. So things like, I'll give you some examples. When I'm sat on the couch and I've got on my to-do list, or I've been thinking all day, I'm going to do some yoga tonight. When I've logged off, I'm going to do some yoga. But then I've ended up somehow sat on the couch watching TV. And I sort of question it. Do I feel healthy and energized sat here on the couch? No, generally don't. Not saying there's anything wrong with sitting watching TV. I do that. But I question to myself, would I feel more healthy and energized if I went and did the yoga? And the answer is yes, I would. And so I'll have I'll give myself this little pep talk about just, even if it's just 10 minutes, just roll your mat out for 10 minutes, go and do the yoga. You'll feel better. And I always do. I never regret rolling my yoga mat out, ever. I do it with workouts as well. So, sometimes I can talk myself out of going for walks or working out, particularly if it's a bit miserable outside, like it is today when I'm recording this. It's a little bit grey and miserable, so I haven't been out for a walk yet, but I'm going to have a word with myself after I've finished recording this and tell myself, you'll feel healthy and energized if you do it. And I will. So it helps me with that. It just helps me to think about where it is I'm going, because that's the end result is I am healthy and energized. That is where I'm headed. Is what I'm going to do right now in this moment going to help me move towards that, or is it going to hold me back? And those are the questions really that I'm asking myself. And I also use it for things like for food. Foods, and I don't want to get into a conversation about food because I think there can be some really toxic conversations had about food, but this is just something that works for me that I found helpful. So, for instance, I'll think to myself, what am I going to have for my tea? Will it make me feel healthy and energized? But I'll also check in with myself after I've eaten something. So if I've eaten some chips, did they make me feel healthy and energized? No. But did I find them really delicious and did they give me joy? Yes. Right. Okay. That's okay. We'll have no shame there. Enjoy the chips. Did that Chinese takeaway make me feel healthy and energized? No. Do I feel good afterwards? No. Does it feel like it was worth it? Honestly, no. And that's why I very rarely have Chinese takeaways anymore. No matter how many times my boyfriend asks me if I want one. So it just helps me make those decisions, but also to analyse the decision that I've made. Because there's no shame in me eating what I want to eat. But is it moving me forward towards where I want to get to? I suppose is the point of what I'm trying to say to you. Will going to bed early make me feel healthy and energized? Yeah. Do I always do it? No. So I'm not saying, I'm most definitely not telling you that I'm perfect. But these are the choices that I make. So I invite you, if you haven't already, to set an intention, to think about what you want to create in your life. And we can work with more than one, don't worry about that. I have others that I work with. I just give you that example because it's I think it's quite a universal one. So what do you want to create in your life? Think about where you're moving towards. Where do you want to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years? Where do you want to be? Form that into an intention. Make it in the positive present tense. So often it might start with I am, but it doesn't have to. It could be phrased differently. But it wants to be positive and present. And you want to say it and question it as if it's already true. So when we're using it, we say it as if it's already true. So when I use my intentions during meditation or during yoga, I will say them as if they're true, even if I get resistance in my body. Even if I know that they're not actually true, the more I say it, the more I believe it. And, your brain doesn't know if something is real or not. It can't tell the difference. It can't tell the difference between you having a real experience and you setting that intention and visualizing something different. It genuinely doesn't know. So that's why these things are powerful. But then I invite you, once you've set your intention, to think about how you can be more intentional. So how can you use that to question what you do? So maybe your intention is, I am peaceful. I use this as an example because this is the one I was talking to my clients last week about. If you want to bring peace into your life, do you want to go to this party that you didn't really want to go to anyway, but you daren't say no? Do you want to step forward and do that? Will that make you feel peaceful? Maybe not. Maybe it will. Maybe you'll really enjoy yourself. Will reacting in a certain way to how someone's talking to you, will that make you feel peaceful? Or do you just want to pause for a moment and think before you react? Does going into the city on a Saturday afternoon make you feel peaceful? I use that as an example because I did it a few weeks ago and it really stressed me out because there were so many people and I'm not used to it anymore. But think about, will this, whatever it is that I'm thinking about doing, will it make me feel peaceful? And also connecting with yourself afterwards. Did that make me feel peaceful? And with that, my lovelies, I think Episode 1 is done. Woo, how exciting. If you want to tell me what your intention is, I would love to hear from you. I will put in the show notes below how to get in touch, and please let me know if there's anything you'd like me to talk about, or anything that you would like or not like about the podcast. This is new, so I'm just starting out, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you, my lovelies, and I will see you next time. Prioritise yourself wherever you can.